Okay, I started recording. So, good morning, everyone. So, uh, you know, we'll start LoadRunner Professional 2020 version today. We'll start with this version. So, before starting LoadRunner, so let me quickly show you what are the system requirements for installing LoadRunner, right? So, if you observe here, Google for LoadRunner system requirements, and I went to this page, the first link. So here wherein you can see like LoadRunner Professional and LoadRunner Enterprise host system requirements in Windows. Okay. So this is the processor that is required. So 2-core CPU is the least one, or, or 8-core CPU is recommended, right? And RAM 16 GB is recommended, but 8 GB would be good enough. But you'll get better performance with 16 GB of RAM, right? 16 gigs of RAM, right? And available hard disk space should be 50 GB, 50 gigs of hard disk space, or the recommended one is 100 gigs of SSD drive. Okay, so these are the hardware requirements. And coming to the software requirements, you can see here, my Windows 8.1 64-bit, or you can go for Windows 10. 7 is not supported from this version. Windows 7 is not supported from this LoadRunner Professional 2020 version onwards. Windows 7 is not supported, so you should have 8 or higher. Okay, Windows 8 or higher. So as you can see here, like you 8.1 and again like 64-bit versions are recommended. Okay, and these are like server OS, right? As you can see here, Windows Server 2012 R2 64-bit, these are all server OS. So if you have server OS, this is the recommended one. Okay, and this is the recommended screen resolution. So did you observe like few guys are not seeing the splash screen properly, right? When I say splash screen, so once you install LoadRunner, you get these three components, right? Virtual user generator, controller, and analysis, right? So once you launch LoadRunner, this particular screen is called as splash screen. So if you don't see this properly, adjust the that is because of the resolution, system resolution. All right. Okay, so let me go to the slides. Yeah. So in this LoadRunner Professional, VuGen, right, or in this module, so I'm going to give an introduction to LoadRunner Professional, LR features, why LoadRunner, load testing architecture, and LoadRunner components and LoadRunner Enterprise, LR load testing process, and all this. Okay, so we'll be like I have a separate slide deck for VuGen part, and another slide deck for like controller and analysis. All right.
Okay.
So let me give an introduction to LoadRunner. So LoadRunner is a see, there is not much dependency between on these sessions to the previous sessions, right? So because this is just an introduction to the LoadRunner tool, all right? So and there is not much dependency on the previous sessions. Okay, so as Ishta, you joined late, right? So that's the reason this is for you that I'm mentioning. Right. So LoadRunner is a performance testing tool which was pioneered by Mercury in 1999. Right. So it's almost 21 years old tool. So it was developed by Mercury, by an organization called Mercury. Okay. So later on, this LoadRunner was acquired by HP, right, in 2006. And like at the time it was called as HP LoadRunner, right? HPE stands for HP Enterprise. Okay. And in 2016, LoadRunner was acquired by Micro Focus. From HP, it was acquired by Micro Focus in 2016. Okay. So LoadRunner supports various development tools, technologies, and communication protocols. So LoadRunner supports almost like 40 protocols. So and it supports various development tools and technologies. It supports from legacy mainframes to the latest Web 2.0 applications. Okay. So we'll see what all protocols does LoadRunner provides once we go to VuGen, right? So this is the only tool in the market which supports such large number of protocols to conduct performance testing. So no surprise that, like it is the market leader, still it is the market leader. So even though we have many open source tools nowadays, like, but still LoadRunner is the market leader, and because it supports large number of protocols to conduct performance testing, right? So it allows users to test robust internet applications, Web 2.0 technologies, ERP, right? What does ERP stands for?
Enterprise Resource Planning.
Right. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning. Any examples of ERP applications?
SAP.
Yeah. And what is CRM?
Customer
Um,
Management. Customer Relationship Management. Customer Relationship Management.
Right. So CRM stands for Customer Relationship Management. So, it supports, and legacy applications like mainframes. So it supports like you know, latest internet applications, robust internet applications, Web 2.0 technologies, and right. So SAP, ERP systems like ERP softwares like SAP, and CRM applications like CBEL and so on. Okay, and legacy applications like mainframes. Right. So, and it is not only the pioneer tool in performance testing, but still a market leader in performance testing paradigm. And like in a recent assessment, LoadRunner has about 70% of the market share in the performance testing industry. Of course, like JMeter is gaining prominence year by year with every new version, right? But still, JMeter doesn't support like SAP, like SAP GUI or CBEL applications are not supported by JMeter yet, right? So JMeter is good for mostly for web applications, and there are hardly like 8 to 9 protocols that JMeter supports. But coming to LoadRunner, it supports around 40 protocols. All right. So maybe like this might have come down now to 60 or 55, but still, like this is the largest tool in the market. This is the tool which has like 50 plus market share, in the market. Even though we have a lot of many new tools coming up, so still has major market share in the performance testing industry. And it supports yeah, it's just a repetition of this point. So rich internet applications, Web 2.0 means Web 2.0 means like HTTP, HTML, Ajax, Flex, and Silverlight. And it supports mobile applications, SAP, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, Citrix, RTE, Mail, and above all, Windows Socket. We will discuss what is this Windows Socket going forward, right? So this is the reason, like because like it is a much evolved and mature tool, right? Uh, and it supports a large set of protocols. So it's still a market leader, not only pioneer, but it's still a market leader in the performance. Pioneer means, by the way, yes, what is meant by pioneer?
only competitor.
No, no. What is the meaning of pioneer? See, pioneer means like someone who is the first to enter that sector. They are the first to develop a tool for performance testing. This is the first tool to to do performance testing. See,
Okay.
first to research and develop a new area of knowledge or activity, right? Okay, so it is one of the first tools in the performance testing paradigm. Okay, so and like if you Micro Focus has its own tool called Silk Performer, but like it has its own tool called Silk Performer. So let me show you like What are the other tools? What are the, let me show you the list of all the tools in the major tools in the market. So here it is. This is the exact, this is the list of performance testing tools in the market. So Micro Focus LoadRunner, right? Apache JMeter, this is which is an open source, and NeoLoad and WebLoad. WebLoad is another tool developed by RadView, by an organization called RadView. And Silk Performer is the tool which is developed by Micro Focus, right? So this LoadRunner was acquired from HP, but like they have, Micro Focus has its own tool called Silk Performer as well, right? And there is one more tool called RPT, Rational Performance Tester, which is developed by IBM, right? So apart from this, you have few other tools like Gatling, Load Ninja, Load View, and Load UI Pro. So these are the major tools in the for performance testing. Clear? Okay. And these are the Micro Focus LoadRunner features like interactive user transaction simulation, and it supports wide range of apps, right? It supports wide range of apps or applications, right? And mobile testing, it supports mobile testing, it supports cloud testing, it supports continuous testing, and it supports like root cause analytics. So these are the important features of LoadRunner. So it supports mobile testing, cloud testing, continuous testing, and root cause analytics, right? So next, this is a slide like which shows like what are the important protocols that it supports, right? And this is how LoadRunner works. So let me explain this, this particular diagram, right? So as I said, like, once you install LoadRunner, so you get this through three tools, installed, right? So if you install the community edition of 2020, like you get these three tools. Of course, there are standalone applications also. Means if you want to install only LoadRunner or only controller or only analysis, you have to use a separate installer file. Let me show you that. So you have, like you'll have something called, standalone applications, right? So see here, this is LoadRunner 2020 community edition that I shared to you, right? So apart from this, you have another installer file. If you observe here, standalone applications, right? Means if you, with the help of this this exe file, this installer, you can choose like which component you can install. Is it clear? If you want to install only controller on a machine, or if you want to install only VuGen, right? Of a VuGen, right? So you can install using standalone this particular installer file, standalone applications. Now let me let me explain what is VuGen controller and and analysis. Then we will come to this load testing architecture. Okay, so VuGen stands for Virtual User Generator, right? So as you can see here, uh, here you can see the full name, Virtual User Generator, that is in short called as VuGen, right? And this is controller and this is analysis. So let's understand like what is the purpose of each of these components first, right? So we guys, let me know if I'm going too fast. Able to follow, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So VuGen is used to record the end user business process and create an automated performance testing script known as VUser scripter. So like in the introduction sessions, in the demo sessions, I explained like about critical business flows of any application, right? So remember, we discussed, what would be the critical business flows for different kind of applications. Like what are the critical business flows for net banking application, right? And what would be the critical business flows for a travel application, like user registration, search for a ticket, login, book a ticket, and so on, right? Booking hotel rooms, cancel it, book a ticket, print ticket, add passengers, and so on, right? Yes.
Yes, sir.
This is nothing but add passengers or profile updater. Search search ticket here, right?
Yes.
Right. And also for a Facebook application, these would be the critical business flows, right? This is what we any user mostly does with the Facebook, right? user registration or creating an account, login, right? Login, and then yeah, here I have already covered view post, add post, share a post, right? Approve request and group activities and so on, right? Send a friend request, or or approve or decline a friend request and so on, right? So the see, view post, add post, share post, these are the major thing activities that any user does, right, on Facebook application, right?
Yeah.
This is what any user does, right? So
Yes.
Ishta, are you able to follow?
Yeah.
See, users who are using Facebook, this is what they do, right? Mostly do on that with that Facebook application, right?
Mm.
Viewing post or adding post or sharing post, right? Or approve request, send a friend request, right? And group activities means like, group activities means like you can post a message in a group and so on, right?
Yeah.
This is what any Facebook user does, right?
Yes.
Add posts
Yes.
or, uh, videos or
Videos.
something, right? So now coming back to this loader, huh? So VUgen records the, so now if you want to test the any of these applications, right? Say for example, you want to test Facebook application, right? Or you want to test some travel application, right? So first you have to, what you have to do, you have to create scripts for each of these business flow. We will develop script for each of these business flow, right? And we will test the application with these business flows,
Yeah.
right? Now, so now VUgen is used to record the end user business process. End user business process. When I say business process, these are the business process, right?
Yes.
For a
Yes.
net banking application, these are the business process, right? So, for a net banking application, what do you do generally? You log in and check balance, do fund transfer, add a beneficiary, right? Activate beneficiary or delete beneficiary, account statement. Once in a while, we generate account statement, right? And credit card payments, utility bill payments, loan payments, and profile updates. So these are the critical business flows for a net banking application, right?
Yes.
So we use VUgen to record the end user business flows or end user business process and create an automated performance testing script known as VUser script, right? So we will explore in the next session. We'll see how do we record a script, and like how to create an this VUser script. We'll see that in the next session. Okay. And the second component that we get is when we install LoadRunner, the second component that we get is controller component. So this is the one. This is the controller component. All right. So this is the second component that we get when we install this, LoadRunner, right? So basically, this controller organizes, drives, and manages and monitors the load test. So this controller component is used for test executions to test the application, right? As the name implies, it controls or it drives or manages and monitors the load test, the controller component, right? So we'll see like how do once we develop some scripts, like we'll see how can we execute a load test and how can we monitor the test and so on, right? And the third component that we get is analysis component. As you can see here, this is the third component that you get when you install LoadRunner. So again, as the name implies, it will help you to analyze the test results. Analysis component will be used to analyze the test results and to view, dissect, and compare the test results. All right.
Yes.
And we will discuss this load generators and all later, and performance center later on. So we'll discuss about these in detail later on. So basically, when you install LoadRunner, you need a separate installer file to install load generator. Okay. So once you launch VuGen, if you observe here, this particular window shows you what is new with this version, right? What is new, and what. So here you can see, like, it supports LoadRunner, supports a new protocol dev web, right? And a new update is available, LoadRunner Professional 2020 SP3 means Service Pack 3. That is available now. Service Pack 3 is available now, and it shows, like, what are the new features introduced in this this particular version, right? As you can see here, right? So you have, I think, you have a lot of videos. Like, this video represents new and enhanced features, right? So there are a lot of videos, like, which are showing, like, what are the new features that are introduced in this version. Okay. All right. So I'll explain this load generators and performance center later on. But these are the three components that you need to install, and you need to understand as of now. All right. So now let's understand, like, how LoadRunner works. Let me explain this diagram, how LoadRunner works, and we will we need to understand few important terminology as well, right? And we will start the scripting from tomorrow. Okay. So before starting the scripting, let me explain this, this architecture, of LoadRunner, right? LoadRunner's load testing architecture, right? So you have a, see, as you can see here, you can see the point wise, like, the first one is a controller machine, right? The, I mean, sorry, this is a controller machine. Controller is a central host from which the load test is managed or monitored. Hey, hold on. So, let's revisit this slide later on. So, let me go with, VuGen. And then once VuGen is completed, we'll go back to controller. Yeah. Okay, let's understand, a few important LoadRunner, terms, right? The first one is a transaction. Okay. The first important, term that you need to understand is a transaction. So transaction is a set of end user actions that represent typical application activity. For example, login is a transaction. Login to an application, that is one transaction. Navigate to a search dialog, that is one transaction. Enter a search string, that is one transaction. Click the search button, that is one transaction, and logout is one transaction, right? So any application, whatever the application that you may be working, right? So for example, you type gmail.com, right? For instance, you type gmail.com and you go to the launch page, right? So this is one transaction, right? Now you sorry, you enter email ID and click on next. This is one transaction, right? And you enter the password and click next. This is another transaction, right? So any user action is called as a transaction. Clear, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Any user action is called as a transaction, right?
Yes, sir.
Or you log into Flipkart and search for a product, that is one transaction, right? Or Flipkart or Amazon or any other application, you search for some product. Like, everyone might has used Big Basket, right? So you launch bigbasket.com. This is one transaction, right? You search for some product, right? Pulses. This is one transaction, right? So any user action is called as a transaction. Clear? And next, is it clear what is meant by a transaction?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The next comes, business process. So business process is nothing but, a sequence of steps in your application that represent a use case or a business function. A sequence of steps in your application that represents a use case or a business function. Or else, let me give some simple example. So, a set of your transactions is called as a business process. say for instance, you'll go back to the same, big basket example, right? So which everyone might have used it during this lockdown period, right? Say for example, you want to place an order, right? You want to place an order for groceries, right? So you first log into the application, or or else you search and add the product to carts and then check out, right? Guys, I searched for some pulses, right? So now what I do, I add some products to the cart, right? I add some products to the cart. Right? So I add some products to the cart, and you can see, it is added to the cart. It is showing one in basket, right? I add some required products, and then I go to the cart. It is showing as added to the cart, right? So the next term is scenario. So scenario is a collection of business process, right? A collection of business process is called as a scenario. So scenario, like, see, okay, for example, see, a collection of business process. This is called as a scenario, right? Means if you are testing a net banking application, a scenario consists of all of these business process, right? We have to design a scenario with all the important business process. Okay. So scenario is a collection of business process. A scenario defines the events that occur during a testing session based on the performance requirement. For example, a scenario might include a combination of create new account, right? This is user registration, search for flight, purchase ticket business process, right? You create a new account. For example, if you are testing this, web tours application, right? So which is a travel application. So what we have to do first, we have to create an account, right?
Yeah. Yes.
We will create an account by going to sign up, right, to this page, and we enter the user details, password, confirm password, first name, last name, and we register ourselves to create a new account, and then we log into that account, right, and search for a flight ticket, right? Right, we search for a flight ticket and book a flight ticket, purchase a flight ticket, and then log out, right? Or else we may cancel a ticket, right? Later on, if we may want to cancel a ticket, we go to itinerary, and all the book tickets will be available here. So you will cancel the ticket from this page, right? So a collection of all these business processes is called as a scenario. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
If it is a travel application, what does a scenario contain? So scenario consists of all these business flows, right? User registration, search for ticket, login, book ticket, book a hotel room, right? Cancel a book ticket, print ticket, add passengers, and so on, right? So a collection of the business flows is called as a scenario. Clear? Yes, say yes, sir.
Sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
The next one is virtual user script, vUser script, right? So vUser means virtual user. vUser stands for virtual user. So what is meant by a vUser script? The recorded actions of a business process performed in your application, that is called as a vUser script. The recorded actions of a business process performed in your application. So I already explained one script for user registration, right? We have done a script for user registration previously, or else we will do it tomorrow as well, right? So suppose for example you want to create a new account, right? So what we do normally, so we go to the launch page, right? We go to the launch page of the application. You want to create a new user for this GeoMeter, right? So you go to this sign in, you go to the launch page first, and then you come to this sign in page. You enter your mobile number and an email address and so on. to create a new account, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you want to test this user registration process, right? So what you do is you will record the business process. You will record all these steps, and you'll create a user script and test with that, with the help of that script, that particular script. There's those who joined late, no need to worry. You'll understand everything once we start scripting tomorrow. Okay, so you'll understand what is recorded action, what does that mean, what is a transaction, what is business process and all. We'll revisit these terms, everything in all the future sessions. Okay, and virtual users are V users. So V users simulate the actions of human users using your system. V users simulate the actions of human users using your system. Using your system means application here, the application that you are testing. Okay, a scenario can contain tens, hundreds, or even thousands of V users, right? So virtual users, V users is not, virtual users, V users stands for virtual users. So why they are called virtual users? They are because they are not real users, but they simulate the actions of human users. That's why they are called as virtual users. Okay, so these are the important terms. I will come to the script footprint later on. Once we develop some script, like then we will discuss the script footprint. Okay, and these are the components that I already explained: VuGen, controller, and analysis. And agent machine means load generator machine. So we came across some term over here, right? Load generator. So that is called as agent machine over here. We'll discuss this, in the coming up sessions. But but these are the important load runner components, right? So these are the important load runner components: VuGen, controller, analysis, and agent machine. And this is the application under test. Suppose if you are testing Amazon.com, right? So this is the application under test. Again, that application contains web server, application server, database server, right? So that's what this diagram shows about. Okay, and this is the load testing process. So this is the load testing process. So there are 5 steps in developing in doing load testing. The first one is plan the load test, right? In the planning phase, we define the performance testing requirements. For example, number of concurrent users, typical business flows, required SLAs, required response times, right? So you define your performance testing requirements, means we collect the requirements from the client, and like number of concurrent users, right? And typical, what are the critical business flows of the application and required, and what are the required response times. SLA stands for
Service level agreement.
service level agreement. So response time SLAs means there will be some. Okay, let me explain the response time SLAs one more time. So for any application, there may be some SLAs, right? SLAs means service level agreements, like launch page should not take more than say for example 2 seconds. Launch page should not take more than 2 seconds. Login should be completed in some 3 seconds max, right? When you search functionality, search for a product, it should not take more than 3 seconds, something like that, right? Suppose if you are using any e-commerce application, or like Flipkart or Amazon, right? So launch page should not take, it hardly took 1 second, right, to get the page, right? And when I say search for a product, right? For example, you search for some product like mobiles, right? So this page should be loaded within 3 seconds. There will be some SLA like this, 2 seconds or 3 seconds like this. Clear? These are called as response time SLAs. Ishta, is it clear what is meant by response time SLA? Ishta, are you with us? I think you are speaking on mute if you are speaking, right? And once you search for a product, suppose you want to see the details of this product, right? So again, like you click on that product, right? So again, this page might have a different SLA, maybe 2 seconds or 1 second, right? So we collect all these requirements from the client, and we plan the load test first. Once we plan the load test, then we create virtual user scripts, which we'll be doing it from tomorrow. So for creating user scripts, like we use VuGen component to capture the end user activities into automated scripts. Okay, and we develop the scripts by recording the end user activities, right? And then we define a scenario. What is scenario, guys?
The combination of business processes.
Right. The combination of each of all these scripts are the combination of the business process, right? That is called as a scenario. So we use the controller component to define the scenario. We use this particular component to create a scenario, right? So just go to file and new, right? New scenario, right? And you select the scripts, whatever you recorded or whatever scripts you have generated. Like you will select the scripts and create a scenario. All right.
Yes, sir.
And we set up the load test environment and run a scenario. Again, like we use controller component to run the scenario, and using the analysis component, we analyze the results. LoadRunner analysis component, we use LoadRunner analysis component to analyze the results, create graphs, reports, and to evaluate the system performance. So these are the steps in load testing process, important for interview from the interview perspective, right? So what are the typical steps in in the load testing process? Means like you have to explain these 5 steps. Okay. All right. So these. So having said that, like we can start scripting now. So once we start scripting, then like we will discuss the remaining topics, workload modeling and all. So while recording the script, like there are 2 types of recording: HTML based scripts and URL based script. So I'll be explaining these in the next session. Okay. So let me show you, like quickly show you how do we generate a script, right? So once you launch VuGen, I'm closing the controller for time being. Once you launch VuGen, so let's understand the UI of this, because like we'll start scripting from tomorrow. So for now, I will explain the UI, and we will close the session for today, right? So once you launch VuGen or virtual user generator, this is called as menu bar. For as like in any application, this is called as menu bar, right? Menu bar, right? And you have different options over here, like file, edit, view, search, record, and so on, right? So if you want to create a script, you can go to file, new script and solution, right? File, new script and solution, and you can see the recent scripts in this, in this particular section. You see or in this particular frame, you see the recent scripts, and this frame shows you like what are the new features that are introduced, right?
Yeah.
Now to create a script, first like go to file, new script and solution, and observe here, right? So under VuGen, you have single protocol, multiple protocols, mobile and IoT. You have a couple of options here. So first, what is meant by a protocol?
Collection of rules for the communication between the client and the server.
Right. So protocol is set of rules for communication between browser and server, or the communication language between browser and server. That is called as protocol, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now you have option to some applications will use multiple protocols, right? So that's why you have different options like single protocol, multiple protocols. So first you see under different single protocol, if you see, right? So as I mentioned, like LoadRunner supports around 40 protocols. You can see here .NET, CV user, Citrix, ICA, right? DNS, Flex, FTP, IMAP, and all this. So in each column you have 8 protocols. So in that way you have 4 columns, right? For each 32 plus web services, web server, 2 more here, right? So 34 protocols you can see here, right? And it supports, LoadRunner supports like Oracle 2-tier. What is this? Oracle Web, Oracle NCA, right? And SAP GUI, SAP Web, CPL Web, and so on. It supports a lot of protocols. It is a large. I mean, It is the only tool in the market like that supports these many protocols. Okay. And observe here, as soon as you select a protocol, the script name changes here, right? Suppose if you select Cbel Web, right? You are getting the script name as, automatically you are getting the script name as Cbel Web 1. Or if you select SAP GUI, right? You are getting SAP GUI, some script number, right? And this is the default location in which your script will be stored, right? C uses power. I mean, on my machine, like, this is the default folder in VuGen. In documents, VuGen scripts, right? That is the default folder in which your scripts will be created. So you can go to documents. In that you will have a folder called VuGen. In that you have a folder called scripts. So this is the folder in which your scripts will be stored by default, saved by default, right?
Yes.
And if your application uses multiple protocols, right? So you can go to this multiple protocols tab and select whatever protocols your application uses. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And mobile and IoT, as I mentioned, like LoadRunner supports mobile applications as well. We can do load testing for mobile applications as well. And IoT is nothing but, what is IoT?
Input out.
Internet of Things.
Internet of Things, right? So, and this is the protocol that this is the protocol in which communication happens. MQTT is the protocol for Internet of Things, and SMP is SAP Mobile Platform, and so on, right? All right. And next under edit, like you can see, like you have options to undo, redo, cut, copy, paste, and so on. And view, like views helps you to uh, to configure your what components you want to see, right? So for example, solution explorer, search results. Okay, once we record the script, like we will get a better understanding of all this. And search properties, integrations, and in the help tab, like you can see about the version, right? You can see about the version, and you have function reference, help center, VuGen help center, and so on. You have links to like knowledge based troubleshooting, LoadRunner professional blog, and Micro Focus software community, and so on, right? So okay, so let's start recording. Let's create a project first, right? Let me show you how to create a project, and like how to create a script. Okay, so I already shared okay, I already shared this Excel sheet for few of you. To others I will share it later. This is a tracker for your batch. So these are the scripts that I'm going to cover in the scripting sessions. Okay, I'll share this Excel sheet to everyone. All right. So we will start with WebTools user registration. Okay. No, sorry, I covered it in the demo session. I'll share that recording to you. Please go through that.